Hey everyone, this is Justin Sharp, and this is Koopa Kast number 71. Matt is doing an interview with a game developer now for the next issue of the magazine, so that's why he is absent. So I am taking over, hostile takeover, and I'm joined by the always wonderful and amazing Tristan Myman.
You flatter me, sir. Hello, everybody. How are you all?
And it's just us. So that's all for the introductions. Let's get right to it. This Koopa Kast, we're going to be focusing on the copious amounts of gaming news that you've seen over the last 2 weeks since E3, which is to say none. So we are going to be talking about the Mighty Number 9 live-action movie news that they announced earlier this week, and discuss our favorite video game movies, worst video game movies, just experiences in general. Do what?
Favorite video game cartoon shows, pretty much any adaptation of a media based
Yes.
a media based on a video game character that was not a video game.
Yes, agreed. So I guess let's start it off with what did you think of the Mighty Number 9 live action news, Tristan?
I was not expecting that. That was the last thing, because I remember they're doing the Mighty Number 9 television show, and seeing that trailer, it looks goofy and cartoony. So I'm wondering how this is going to really transition from this goofy, cartoony, campy story to, like, are they going to try to make this dark and gritty with Mighty? I'm hesitant. I'm not against the idea, but I'm not exactly, gung ho, bouncing up on my seat, excited, because it just feels like one of those things where this would just work better as an animation.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. My first impressions were not one of elation. Like I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I always think that animation is probably the better route for video game characters.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I do think. I mean, I don't know. Like, could you imagine like a live action Mario movie ever even being made? Oh wait.
You mean that one that totally existed that we don't? But yeah, like exactly. Like, think about a live action, like, and we're not talking about the horrible 1980s movie Mario Bros. But imagine a live action Mario, and imagine Mario, a real life looking Mario, jumping on a real life Goomba.
Yeah.
Like, imagine how ugly that would look. It wouldn't. It would look. That would be scary. I would not want to watch.
It would be like, have you seen those pictures where they do like a realistic Mario, where they make like a human person's face with these huge eyes and this big nose, and you're like,
this unrealistic nose. Like, no, I don't want this. This is not the jolly Mario I grew up with.
No, that should be in a horror film. But,
yeah, I can see now. Here's the thing for live action, and not Mighty Number 9, but maybe Mega Man or maybe Mega Man X, something a bit more serious. Yeah, that I could see happening. But Mighty Number 9 just looks a little bit too anime style and, well, goofy. It looks like you can have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, like it's really hard to do an anime style live action movie. I don't know if you or anyone out there has ever heard of Yatterman. I'm probably totally butchering the name, but it's a Japanese anime. And there's like robots and all these crazy characters. It's a typical anime fare. Well, they actually did like a live action movie, and I remember we went to New York Comic Con. This was 2010 maybe or something. It's been several years, but they were screening some footage from the movie, and it was like this battle, and it's again very typical. Like the shots are all typical anime fare. Yeah, it was all live action, but like the character's hair was all.
Oh, dude, the anime hair in reality looks weird.
Oh yeah, you can tell it was all like wigs and hairspray and all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it just does not work well.
Yeah, we like anime and animation because it's not realistic. It's not reality. When you try to take that and you put it as such, it robs it of its magic. Like here's another kind of example. I don't remember what Disney movie this was, but it was some one where it starts off in this like animated princess world or whatever, and then they go through a portal and then they're in New York. And they're doing all the stuff you'd see in the animation, and it obviously doesn't work. That's kind of like maybe, I don't know if it's like a hidden metaphor or what, but maybe that's just because it doesn't work. Like, what you can do in animation, you can get away with a bit more than you would in real life, to the point where this is silly. Like, I love Dragon Ball Z, but I would hate a live-action film of it because it just wouldn't work. It would look stupid. Well, wait, but they did it. They did a live-action movie of it, and it was horrible. This is a perfect example right there. It looks cool in an anime when we see a bunch of fists flying around and beams shooting out of hands, but when you take that in reality, it just looks silly.
Yeah. It really does.
Yeah, so I think after this, I think we both we're not exactly elated about a Mighty movie. But here's the other thing. We haven't even played the game yet, and they're already doing an animated series and a movie. For all we know, this game may not be that good. It could actually be pretty bad.
I know. It does seem interesting that they're committing to, really a full force media blitz of, video game, TV, movie.
T-shirts, complimentary body pillows.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, hey, more power to them. Maybe they had a lot more money left over than we thought, or some money after the fact to do some of this stuff. But
yeah, now I'm just picturing Keiji Inafune like jumping in a Scrooge McDuck like ball of money.
Yes. I like it. We should make an animated GIF of that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I think we're both not exactly first in line. But I mean, I'll watch it. I'll watch about anything. So
yeah.
I mean, I'll keep an open mind. I'll check it out. But don't expect me to, be kind about it. I guess. I mean,
don't expect me to like it.
Yeah. But so speaking of like I guess video game based movies, what is your favorite video game based movie that is live? I guess let's not do live action because there's not really a big pool there. I think you got Mario Brothers, Street Fighter, Blood Rain, and that's about it. I think those are the only live-action video game movies that I can think of. Oh, Mortal Kombat.
Yes, I am.
3 of them or 4 of them.
Okay, so yeah, I'll throw in some live-action ones and some not ones, but I would say live-action. I mean, The Wizard is kind of high up there, just nostalgia-wise. It's not a video game movie per se in the sense that it is made from a video game franchise or a specific game, but it featured Nintendo heavily. I mean, for those who've seen the movie, you've got Power Glove, you've got Rad Racer, you've got
Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, you got Ninja Gaiden, you've got Double Dragon, you've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the one where you have to disarm the bombs and the dance.
The worst one of the whole franchise.
The best one of the whole franchise.
And of course, at the championship, Super Mario Brothers 3, that big reveal.
That was pretty amazing. Yeah. So maybe nostalgia is just up there high for that movie.
Oh yeah.
But I would say favorite live action movie that's based on a video game. I would almost have to say Mortal Kombat. I think the first Mortal Kombat did a really good job.
Oh yeah, it captured the freedom as well.
Yeah, the second, and I think they did a third one, right?
Yeah, they did 3 of them, I think.
Yeah,
I think they bit up a bit more than they could chew. They got I think they got some decent reception of the first one, and they got too excited and then rushed out a second one and then just kicked the third one out of a car while it's moving.
Yeah, because if you look at what small amount of plot material they have to go on with Mortal Kombat, they made a pretty good movie.
I didn't even know Mortal Kombat had a plot when I was a kid. I literally thought, pick the coolest looking character, always pick Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
And then Mortal Kombat, and that's it.
Yeah. I can't remember where I heard about their plot lines the first time, but I think it was around Mortal Kombat 3 or Ultimate MK3. They started to build out some of the storylines. I don't know if it was in, because we had, I think, Ultimate MK3.
Oh, for Super Nintendo?
Yeah, for Super Nintendo. Yeah. And I think the cover or the booklet or whatever had stories of each of them. I remember Johnny Cage had some backstory, and they all kind of had intersecting stories. So Sub-Zero and Scorpion are kind of
they're rivals. We are
rivals. And you've got Kano. You've got all these different ones. But
wait, are you actually listing? Are you listing out characters you know? Or are you just singing the song?
No, I'm listing characters I know. I know Kano.
Oh, I thought you were just doing it from the song, Kano.
Yeah, I did love, back in the 90s, I loved Mortal Kombat techno music.
Oh, yeah. It was great. I still have it. I actually have it on my iPod.
Yeah. Sorry to put that song in your head.
Yeah. although I was more of a Street Fighter person. Which comes to my favorite live-action movie, and it's my favorite because how bad it is. It's, I believe, Street Fighter 2, the one with Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile, and
Yes.
it's magical how bad it is. Like, Ryu and Ken are not depicted at all how they are in the game, even in their story. What's so comical about Jean-Claude Van Damme, which fantastic martial arts movie actor. If you guys have not seen Bloodsport, go watch it now and educate yourself. It's probably one of the best, like, 80s-tastic movies ever. The soundtrack, everything. He plays, Guile, who's supposed to be the, because if you guys haven't played Street Fighter, I hope to God you have.
Yeah, they have. If they haven't, please stop listening.
Yeah, really. It's probably one of the pinnacles of fighting games next to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I would say so.
Kind of like, I feel like as Mario is the Sonic, Street Fighter is the Mortal Kombat. I feel like that's kind of a decent, fair assumption.
Yeah.
I was always more of a Street Fighter person, but each character was represented by different countries, so to speak. So Guile was America, and Jean-Claude Van Damme has the worst American accent possible. In fact, so like in the movie, he's like commander of like the Air Force. Oddly enough, well, he's in the Air Force now, but like, apparently the Air Force has an army, like a big one, and ground troops and all. But either way, each country has like each like soldier is represented by their own country by their flag in this army. And me and my brother had this joke that whenever Jean-Claude Van Damme is speaking, a different accent keeps coming out, and his flag just keeps on switching over to the country he's representing in the accent. So, nice. But the acting is horrible, character representation is horrible, but it's just there's something about it. It's just great. If you haven't seen it, it's good for like a bad movie night with friends.
Yeah, and speaking of some of the other live action video game movies, like. I mean, like the Tomb Raider movies weren't that bad.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot that.
And actually, are they the most successful video game movies? Like box office wise.
Yeah, they might be. Like, if not the most successful, they definitely had the most money pumped into them.
Right.
Like they probably had the bigger budget.
Yeah, I seem to recall them doing well, and they're I mean decently well made movies, and I mean the plot was okay. I mean Lara Croft or what's her name was Lara Croft.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie, some people may not like or whatever, but I mean, for what Lara Croft was characterized at the time, her body type and all of that, I mean, she was a dead ringer for what, Lara Croft was during that time frame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nowadays, after the reboot, we have a more
realistic.
Yeah, realistic representation for it.
Yeah, which I'm really excited. That's actually on my list for the next game I'm going to pick up is the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition.
Ah,
yeah. What?
You haven't played the reboot?
No, I haven't. I've not played it. I've seen it because I never picked it up because I never played Tomb Raider. So I was like, I'll pass. But then I think I heard people say, I heard a friend of mine say it's as if Uncharted and Resident Evil 4 had a baby or something.
Yeah, that's actually what made my definition. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I actually just finished the game last week.
Yeah, so I'm psyched for that, and I'm also psyched for the Rise of the Tomb Raider. So yeah.
You will be pleasantly surprised as I was. I think. I mean, I played the original Tomb Raider, and I've played a couple here along the way too. But they just did an awesome job with it. Like, kudos on the gameplay. I think it strikes the right balance between a lot of different genres. So.
Like the balance between cinematic and gameplay.
Yes, yeah.
Too much cinematic or too much a not enough. So
yeah, because I've heard Uncharted can have a little more cinema and a little more on rails experiences. I mean, Tomb Raider's got some of that, finite one path feeling, but there is a lot more to explore along the way, I think.
Yeah, Uncharted's more like you're on an Indiana Jones style adventure.
Yeah, that's
a great way to describe it.
You're playing a movie, really.
Yeah, but it's still fun. It's amazing. I can't wait for the fourth one also.
Yeah.
If anyone out there is wondering, why are they not talking about Nintendo games?
Yeah.
Play other games too. We're open-minded.
Yeah. So Tomb Raider movies. We're talking, I guess, animated movies.
Justin, it's time we talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, tell us. Oh.
Okay, let's talk about the Mario Brothers movie.
No.
How psyched were you when you found out that there was a Mario Brothers movie? I was ecstatic.
Yeah.
Speaking of Indiana Jones, remember that scene, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they open up and all their heads melt and explode? Exactly.
Yeah.
It was. I believe in an interview with Oh God, who did Mario? It was Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, he said it was the worst role he ever played.
Said, that was the one movie he regretted, and I don't blame him at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's the strange thing. I remember we did an article on that, those people like doing a comic on it. And I actually went online and read it, and I was like, see, if it was like this, it would have been great. And the comic platform, it just does a fantastic job. But when you threw it into a movie, which felt like someone obviously never played the game, read even the instruction booklet, which was cryptic as it was, it was not. It was not. Our movie was in another cinema.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not the movie you're looking for, type of thing.
No, it was not. It was just, I mean, problem number one was Luigi. You saw him, you're like, well, who's this guy? When's Luigi gonna come by? Because I mean, they're twins.
Yeah.
They're blood slots. You play the first one, it's just a different color.
Yeah.
That was like one. I was like, okay, I don't know how they messed that up. And then we saw a Goomba or a Koopa or, well, Toad gets away. Toad, but still, yeah.
Yeah, meh. It was.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. We were talking about animation, 3D animated or otherwise. You had mentioned Wreck-It Ralph as a standout example.
It is probably the best video game. It's probably the best movie that is based around video games that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's an original story, and it hosts cameos of video game characters. So you're seeing like, oh, there's Dr. Robotnik, and there's Bowser, and there's Sonic, and there's Root Beer Tapper, Cuber. You're seeing all these familiar characters and these familiar scenes. So you get that boost of nostalgia, but then you're also getting this original story with it as well.
Yeah, which was awesome. Like the story in Wreck-It Ralph was great. I mean, it was just a good movie in general. It just so happened that it was based around video games, and I think that's almost the best approach to take with a video game movie is let's try and extract a good story from that video game universe, right? Let's not. Sometimes I think movies that are made from video games, they're like, oh, we need to like stick so close to this, we have to reproduce this game in a movie format. Sometimes that's not the best route. I mean, sometimes movies the video games are really fun to play through, and you're like, hey, that story was great. But if you try and play it out in an hour and a half, 2 hour movie, I mean, it just may not work, Yeah,
you'll get bored. You will eventually get bored.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got to set things up right, and I think, I mean, granted, you have the opposite extreme of the Mario Brothers movie, which is like completely not based on anything except
the title.
Like the title and character names,
Yeah, that was literally the only thing that movie had going for it in terms of similarity with the franchise.
Yeah, but like you take something like Wreck-It Ralph, where it's it's like, hey, how can we create this really cool feel-good story? It's based on kind of these old arcade characters and nostalgia, and how this one guy that thought he was bad, blah blah blah. I mean, you have a really compelling story, in that universe, but doesn't have to be necessarily tied to exact events or play out, exactly how a game did.
Yeah. And there was some kind of funny commentary in there too about video games where Ralph comes from a they're not, of course, beating around the bush. He comes from a Donkey Kong style game.
Yep.
And then he goes into like a first person shooter, and he's like, "What a video game so good, so violent and scary." He's just like the sudden jump between what was considered, what's retro and then what's now modern.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that bit of commentary was pretty great, but I think one of the greatest things about the way the movie started opened, which this isn't really a spoiler. If you guys haven't seen it, you gotta rent it tonight or something, or like tomorrow's Friday. That's like no, tomorrow's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Friday is like a great movie night. If you're staying at home or something, get a pizza, and watch this. It starts off with like Ralph at this like it's kind of like this AA meeting or whatever, like this like support group for like all these villains or whatever, and it's just kind of great seeing them all like in in that stereotypical room, having like a little coffee in that little circle of chairs. And there's like this room of baddies or whatever, like cheering up, like, hey, it's okay to be bad, man. Don't worry about it. It's just like that part there was just perfect, and of course seeing Bowser and Eggman in there.
Yeah, and I love that line. Was it Zangief that said it from Street Fighter, where he's like, just because you are a bad guy doesn't mean you are a bad guy.
Yeah, it's like he does a horrible job, like trying to show him up.
Do some Russian accent, but
yeah, I do know that after I watched that movie, I went and played Root Beer Tapper. That's a classic game. That game's so much fun. But yeah, that's just noticing. Still don't know why Sonic was there though. I mean, I love his cameo, but it's like Sonic really didn't have an arcade game until like much later.
Yeah.
But I did remember when they were making the movie, I believe, at Pixar, they had a giant board and they said, write your favorite video game character up there. And they were like, you do not realize how many times we had Mario up there.
Yeah.
And they were trying so hard to find a scene for him, but they were like, no, if we're going to have Mario in here, it's not going to be like oh, there he is for like 2 seconds. No, we want to actually have a decent scene with him.
Yeah.
And of course, he's only mentioned briefly once, but you don't ever see him. So hopefully, if they make a Wreck-It Ralph 2, we'll see Mario.
Yeah, and I think you will see him in the sequel now that Nintendo's doing more licensing. They're, you know, like with this Pixels movie, which arguably is not going to be, you know, a critically acclaimed movie or maybe a good movie in general, but you can see Nintendo has heavily licensed their IP for it. You know, one of the trailers, it shows them, you know, interacting with a 8-bit, well, kind of like a Minecraft-looking Donkey Kong, a little more detailed, of course, but kind of all cute.
Yeah. I'm going to be skipping on that movie. That just doesn't, because when I don't know about you, when I saw that, the first thing I thought of was, yeah, you know who did this first? Futurama.
Yeah.
The What If machine when, you know, the video game characters, you know, invaded there.
Yep.
So I can't take it seriously. It just can't.
Yeah, it's completely based off that Futurama episode. Yeah.
It pretty much is. But so moving away from cinema, this is actually a really good topic. Moving away from cinema, let's talk about memorable video game cartoon shows.
Ooh, yes, yes.
What was probably the first one that you saw that you were like, wait, there's a show about this?
I mean the Mario Super Show where it focused on like the Mario Brothers 3.
Oh yeah.
The Koopalings and all that, and you had like the live action segments, you know, where they're gonna.
I love those.
Yeah, I mean those are pretty fun. I loved the animated parts the best. I mean the two guys that played Mario and Luigi were pretty fun, and so my favorite parts were when they got in there, and I mean the voices were really silly, but I mean you know it was great at the time. I mean for a kid, I mean that's awesome. I mean like if you or I went back and watched like the original Turtles animated series from the 80s, we'd probably be like, oh, I remember this was so good,
and how it's the greatest show ever. Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. I watched back.
So we'd go back and we'd be like, oh man, this is.
It's like we ate this stuff up and bought the toys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but songs and you know.
Are you saying you weren't a fan of Toad's voice in the show? You know.
Did you say the done, Princess Babe?
Oh man, that was the worst.
Yeah, and it always sounded like Luigi sounded like he was about to sneeze, especially like in the Super Mario World one. It's Mama Luigi to you, Mario. You know, he sounded like, you know, he's about to like. My first one actually was not the Mario Brothers Super Show. It was Sonic.
Ah, yeah.
And you know, it was the faster than naked eye, Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, with Jim Cummings doing Robotnik and how terrifying that was. It was like based off more of the Archie comics. That was like my first thing. It's like, wait, are there more shows based on video games? And then that's when I found the Mario Brothers show, Zelda, and that was it.
Yeah, I can't think of a whole lot beyond that.
I remember there was a Hanna-Barbera like style animated Pac-Man, and it was like a Christmas special. I remember watching that one. You gotta get the power pellets for Santa.
Yeah.
Again, horrible plot, but
yeah.
I'm trying to think. Were there any other like super memorable ones? Like I know there was a horrible Mortal Kombat one. There was the Donkey Kong Country one, which was in. You're like, no, just stop, just don't.
Just stop. I constantly see those GIFs on NeoGAF or like little pictures of like, you know, like Donkey Kong with his.
Yeah, it was like back when 3D animation was like just starting. When like someone's like, we can make TV shows out of this, and I always wondered
how awesome this looks.
Yeah, I wonder what came first. Was it the Donkey Kong Country show or Reboot? Because Reboot was, you know.
Oh, Reboot! I remember Reboot. That was a fun.
Yeah, Reboot was. I loved Reboot, and I actually go back and watch it. That's actually, to me, a show that aged pretty well. Like, animation style, of course not. But, no, it's still entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
I feel like in Reboot and... I mean... Tron is kind of different. It's not really a video game. It's from a movie, and then they kind of had video games based on it. But
it's a neat idea of like being zapped into like a computer world, though.
Yeah. I think that's why it gets a lot of. I mean, it sounds cool to us gamers. I think.
Yeah.
It's a fun world, but.
What is it over at Disney? Is it Disney? I have no idea. I get my Disney Worlds and Lands confused. It's the one in Cali, I think. They actually have a Flynn's arcade.
Oh. No.
Yeah, they got like
I haven't been to Disneyland. I've just been to Disney World before.
I've never been to either. Or is it truly the most magical place on Earth?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
it's okay.
Not saying it well, Justin.
I got an email. It's Disney. We are being sued.
Yeah. I would say it's a cool place. Disney World, I would say, would be higher on my list to go to than Disneyland, just because Disney World, it's massive. Like, there's just lots of different areas. I mean, you've got Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Magic Kingdom, MGM. There's like several different areas, and they've got
now. Yeah. But I'd rather go to this Nintendo theme park that they're doing. I'd like totally go to that.
Oh yeah. See, and they're teaming with Universal, and Universal's got some fun parks.
I went to Universal Orlando. That was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I think they should totally fly us out there, to do a review, to see if it's legit.
You got to review the rides, You've seen where people get on roller coasters and like the first ones to ride it. I was like, I want to be those crazy people.
Oh yeah.
And first to try that out. Well, maybe not. Maybe if they're like, hey, we're beta testing and see if it kills anybody. Oh, sure, let's go.
It's like they'll let us go as long as we're like the test dummies.
Yeah. Here's your waiver.
Hey, remember, we're not responsible for any.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we're getting off on tangents, I guess, but I guess we could.
Cartoon shows.
I guess that's. I guess to close things out, we could kind of talk maybe about the future, or like what we would like to see in.
Video game media.
Yeah, in video game movies or TV shows in the future, especially with. There was that big Netflix rumor about that Zelda show.
Yeah, because I remember they described it as...
What we as fans would like to see. Maybe.
Yeah, I was scared about that. I'm glad. I believe it was debunked, correct? They decided that it is not happening. Okay, good. Because I remember, I believe someone said they're going to try to make it a Game of Thrones style Zelda, but for families. I'm like, you do realize those two words, Game of Thrones and family, cannot fit in a sentence. No. Especially Game of Thrones, because if it were, it would be incestual.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But I think for the future, I don't know if you've seen these. They are doing a Ratchet and Clank movie and a Sly Cooper movie, and they're animated. They're 3D animated. I've seen both trailers. I'm excited about both of them. That is the direction I would like to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wouldn't be heartbroken if it was not if it was censored like the movies or something. Like, let's say Nintendo did an animated movie or something like that, Nintendo characters, and they were like, available on Amazon Prime, blah, 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 and all this stuff. But if you have a Wii U console, you can download it at a cheaper price because you have that platform or something. Yeah. Something like that, or, because I remember they did like the Pikmin shorts. Yeah. Like, that's a great example of something they could do. Like, even if they're not full movies, if they're like little short cartoons or something like that, I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
But I think we could totally bring back the whole Saturday morning video game cartoon aspect. Because Sonic Boom, I've seen some episodes. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
And I think we shouldn't rely too much on 3D animation. I think it'd be great to come back to 2D, but that's me.
Yeah, I would concur. I mean, I would like to do some sort of animation, like either 2D animation or 3D animation, especially in regards to like Nintendo properties. With something like Uncharted or Halo, or something that's based in a realistic.
I feel like Metroid could work.
Huh?
Metroid. I think Metroid could work. I think that might be one of the few like Nintendo franchises that could work in a live action environment.
Yeah, definitely. Metroid could do the live action very well. They'd have to get a good director, a good story, nothing like Other M.
No, not Other M. No, not
man. And I mean, they need just good writing, a good plot, good director.
A relatable Samus.
Yeah, a relatable actress.
I'm tired. Like, I know she's supposed to be this, like, quote unquote, cold steel, pretty much badass of the universe. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that she can't have some realistic approaches. I mean, Master Chief is supposed to be this badass of the universe, but even in Halo 4, you see a more humanistic side of him. You see something like I could relate to that, but not like Samus is a bit difficult, and that's not just a gender thing. It's just you can relate to someone even if gender has nothing to do with it. We all feel something. We all have emotions. I mean, it could totally work, but yeah, things like that.
Yeah, and I think that we've seen the extremes of Samus. In Other M, we saw the extreme emotional, vulnerable Samus that
didn't make sense, but
talks too much, or not talks too much, but she just emoted too much. And I think there's so much in her monologue and like, oh, what I'm feeling when he said those words to me.
Yeah.
We don't need a Lifetime movie of the month, Sam.
Yeah, we need
to be a fine balance. I mean, it needs to. She is a badass. I mean, she's
no denying that.
But
she can be defeated like anyone else. She can rise. She can fall. And she can pick herself up like anybody else.
Yeah, it needs to have a good human aspect to it. So that one, but that. It's kind of funny, like we're talking about stuff we would like to see in video game movies, but like you were saying, we're very guarded. Like you said with Zelda, I mean, when I first heard that, I was like, please no. I mean,
yeah, I realized like no, like I wouldn't even want to like honestly, I don't think an animated Zelda would work too well because no one talks, and I almost hated if they talk. I'm like, no, just you stay silent. I'll give you your voice.
Yeah, to be honest, I really don't think Zelda makes sense as a show, as a movie, just because you are the player, you're the avatar. Link is your avatar for lack of a better word. So I really don't think it works well.
Yeah,
you're not telling a story around Link. I mean, I guess you can tell a story around this hero, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem to work well. Yeah. So Star Fox could work, I think. But what I think would actually work really well is some sort of animated, 3D animation, 2D animation, whatever, of like Mario, and a lot of the different, main IPs of Nintendo. Maybe involve it into like a Smash Brothers movie. I don't know if you guys played through the Subspace Emissary mode.
Yeah, I was kind of sad there wasn't one in the newest one, like it's some kind of story mode.
That was on Brawl, never mind.
Yeah.
But they did a really good job of those cutscenes. I mean, you kind of have everybody like teaming up together against this common enemy of these, subspace, shadowy creatures, and I think you could do something really well, kind of like a Kingdom Hearts approach to a movie where you have like just this meshing of franchises, because I don't know that a Mario movie by itself would even work,
Yeah.
Like what are you going to do in a Mario movie? Mario's going to have, this plot where he's saving the princess, or I mean, I guess you could do like a Tangled type storyline where he saves the princess, but I don't know.
Mario's on a wacky adventure when Bowser steals Peach's cake.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it could stand on its own. Same thing with like a Kirby movie or something like that, where I feel like Smash Brothers has a lot of mass appeal. I mean, like even beyond, like think of people that have a PS4 or an Xbox One or a PC gamer. Smash Brothers is really their main indulgence in Nintendo. So having some sort of like a Smash Brothers movie, I think would have the widest appeal.
Yeah,
and it could potentially, you could do a really fun story with it. You could have like pieces of the movie in their different games. Mario's doing his thing, and they can kind of like poke fun at themselves. Like, oh yeah, I'm off to save the princess again. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, like I think it'd be great if like you actually saw Mario, looks at it, and notices the princess has been captured, instead of like going runs up, he just goes like him and Luigi just kind of like they acknowledge that this has happened again. Or whatever. But then it'd be great, of course, they go like right as they like get to Bowser's castle, like Bowser's getting launched by Peach or something.
Yeah. I mean,
The
just
whole Smash
some fun stuff, and then like there's some dimensional crossover and some, you know, they get meshed over into the Star Fox world or Kirby.
Yeah.
Like, wait, who are you? Oh, wow.
Yeah, but like of course the other thing is like I feel like it'd be weird to hear Mario speak in full sentences or something. I don't know why. I feel like it would just be like odd. But like that's what I love about the Subspace Emissary is that they managed to like, in a way, talk and emote with body movements. You know, they could just do that and that was enough. It still worked.
Well, think about the Minions movie, right? Like,
Oh,
I would have never thought the Minions movie would even work. I mean, they don't even speak language. They
it's a mixture of I
like,
believe it's English and French and just like some babble.
Yeah,
because there's some French terms there I've heard. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and Katie and I were talking about it, and you know, we're like, it works because they have all of these characters around them that are kind of talking for them, so to speak. So it's like, oh, what's your problem? Blah blah blah, you know. And then all they have to do is like do like, and then based on their body language or the circumstance, you know, kind of what they're saying or what they're doing. And I don't know, maybe something like that could work if you just had good, you know, co-stars that, you know, I don't know, could emote or talk for them. Maybe have Lucario talking the whole time, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could work around it. Like since the Minions movie, I'm sure it's going to do well. I don't think it's out yet, but
yeah, it's good. I think it's going to do really well.
Yeah, and I think it's a fun idea, and I don't think people are like, oh yeah, they don't really need to talk. I mean, you got all this other stuff going on. I mean, it looks funny, so.
It's like very slapstick. Like I'm not going to go to the theaters to see it, but like if friends come over and they brought it up, like, all right, I'll totally watch this.
Oh yeah, definitely. So. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's such a tough nut to crack because you have just such a pedigree of good games, and
we're defensive. We're very defensive of what we grew up with and what we love.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's so easy for us to criticize a movie like Tomb Raider or Mortal Kombat or some of that stuff where we're not so tied to. We're like, that didn't really hurt the franchise. The games are doing fine, whatever.
Yeah.
And like to have like bad Nintendo movies like that could just really bum me out.
Yeah, it could really hurt. I mean, like, do you want people to say, oh, what's your favorite franchise? Oh, I love the Super Mario Brothers. Oh, you mean that one franchise that had a really horrible movie? It's like,
really?
Do you really want that tied to your name? Do you want people to look at Nintendo and go, oh, yeah, they made that really shitty movie?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, thankfully, the Mario Brothers live-action movies kind of drifted into obscurity. I mean, some people remember it fondly, and
at least they tried.
Yeah, the majority of people don't remember it or don't want to remember it, and so I'm sure Nintendo's happily going to dismiss that, like the CD.
Yeah.
But anyways, well, I guess that mostly wraps it up.
I think we had a great whole thing talking about that.
Yeah,
that was a good topic though.
Yeah, that was fun. It's a little
thank you, Matt, for your topic.
Yes, we've taken it, we've run with it.
Yes. I just realized we're matching Mohawks.
Yeah. Well, it was a lot of fun having you on here, Tristan. And
it was great. Thanks for having me. We managed to do it. Is this the first two-man cast?
No, we've done some other ones. I think Matt and I had a couple there.
But not as good as this one.
That's true. He's not here, so we can say it. So.
And he can't defend himself.
Yeah, right.
You hear that, Matt? Defend yourself. Go ahead and leave a comment. Words won't do nothing.
I like how this whole time my lower third has been Matt's. So it's,
oh, I just realized that.
That's all right.
Yeah, Matt's here in spirit and in a banner.
Yeah, and in banner form.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and hopefully we'll get some big video game news in 2 weeks' time for our next Koopa Kast, and talk some more stuff then. So until then, have a good evening, everyone. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, keep on gaming. Bye!
Bye.